Hi, it's Nathan here, and today we're talking about section 187 through 202 of the model WHS regulations, and these sections cover supply chain duties for people who are involved in, or companies involved in, the design, manufacture, import, supply, or installation and commissioning of plant and structures. So these duties expand, or these sections expand upon the duties placed on those parties under the Act. And under the Act, it's just very basic duties, basically saying if you're designing plant or structures, you need to design it so that it's safe. If you're manufacturing it, you need to manufacture it so that it's safe. So one of the key sort of principles brought in with these regulations is there's this principle of information flow. So wherever you are in that chain, you need to provide information to the next person in that chain that's necessary to either construct it safely or use it safely, or make sure that the end product is safe. So for example, if you're designing a piece of plant or structure, if there's any information you need to provide that next person in the chain to make sure that that is safe, you need to do that. And that works all the way through from designer, manufacturer or importer, supplier, commissioner, end user. In addition to that, the main ones that are of any use to business or are sort of relevant to business, even if you're not a designer of plant, it's important to know, or handy to know, the requirements around design of plant, because it talks about a few key things that are relevant for your users of plant. So the main one is the guarding hierarchy. So there's a few different hierarchies of controls. There's one for guarding, which is that guarding ideally should be permanent. That means you can't remove it at all. If it can't be permanent, then it should be interlocked. Interlocked being where if you opened it, turns off. So think of like the door on your microwave. The second you open that door, the microwave turns off. That's like interlocked guarding. Next, if it can't be interlocked, then it should be removable only with tools. So you can't just pull it off with your hands. You actually need to get a toolkit out and open it that way. And then if it can't be that, then it should have a presence sensing system, which I've rarely seen. I've only seen them once or twice, and that's where, like, I don't know if it's a laser or a motion sensor or what it is, but once you get your hand in there, it automatically cut off. Also, the requirements for emergency stops, that they are like the stop and lock ones. So once you hit them, they're actually locked and they're red and prominent. Operator controls need to be clearly labeled, and they also need to be protected from inadvertent operation. So a lot of times you'll see like machines where, imagine like a button where you can't just accidentally press the button. The button's got like a case around it, so you really have to actually press the button. You can't just bump it. Or like levers where you have to actually like engage them, like push them down and then operate them. There's a few extra sort of interesting or funny little duties that don't really apply very much in practice. So for example, if you're supplying plant that's sort of old and broken and it's intended to be used as spare parts or for scrap, you need to inform the next person to say, hey, we're supplying this to you as scrap, you can't use it, it's unsafe. Yeah, that's all I got.